Hello everyone and welcome back to 2Ds Productions, and today we're going to be having a little discussion thing. I mean, I guess it's what we always do, but it's going to be a little bit more of a chilled out discussion video than usual. And we're going to be talking about Nintendo's untapped market on the Nintendo Switch. So when I say untapped market, it's not entirely true because we're talking about the eShop. Now, yes, there are a bunch of indie developers on the eShop and they're really doing great service for Nintendo. But the reason I'm calling this an untapped market is because Nintendo themselves have not been in the eShop. Now, yes, we did get snipper clips, but that was not really developed by Nintendo. They just kind of saved that from going into development hell. So I don't consider snipper clips a part of that, even though it should be. But I'm talking about titles like Dylan's Rolling Western, Box Boy, the Pushmo series, the Harmonite series. None of these series have appeared on Switch, and it's been a year. It's a little strange that we've gotten no eShop titles from Nintendo when we got quite a few on the 3DS. Now, why do I think this is an untapped market? Well, everyone has a Switch. You know, the Switch is doing really well, and it's a portable console, so you're gonna want some games downloaded on your Switch. Even someone like me, I am not a fan of non-physical releases. I don't like downloading my games. I much rather have a physical release. It's just a thing. I have two games downloaded on my Switch. I have Sonic Mania and I have, Stardew Valley. So I have both these games downloaded, which I had never done before unless I got them for free from My Nintendo or the Nintendo subscription thing. I forgot what it's called. But that's the only time I've ever downloaded games, because it was free. I have two. This is what I'm saying. The Switch is so handy, and it's so good to have a couple of games downloaded on there, so you don't have to carry around all these cartridges. In fact, I've been considering all the time, every time I buy a game, I'm like, well, maybe I should have gotten this online, because then it would have been on the Switch already, and I wouldn't have to, grab a box and switch it out. But it's weird that this is changing people in this kind of sense. But Nintendo's not doing anything about it. Nintendo has a bunch of franchises that would do really well, especially smaller things. Like, we already mentioned Pushmo and Dylan's Rolling Western, and these games have always been on the eShop, but they could even bring back stuff like the Ice Climbers or Mr. Game & Watch and put these little smaller games out on the eShop, quick stuff, good stuff, and people will buy them. And Nintendo's just not touching the eShop. The eShop right now is in this horrible state where it's hard to find things, there's no music, there's no nothing, and it seems like it's being neglected, even though that indie developers are doing so much on it. And Nintendo does support their indie developers, we know this. So my idea here is, as much as I want Nintendo to get in there, and I think they should, give some of these titles to the indies. Let WayForward produce a game and put that on the eShop. Give these people, let them make some new IPs or take some old IPs that Nintendo isn't using, like Sight Bike, these types of things. Give it to these developers and be like, hey, go make an make some eShop game for us and let that creativity, flow. Give some younger team members at Nintendo some more creative room to go and make some eShop titles, some shorter games like Box Boy. It was a great game. There's a bunch of good ideas, and it's so easy to put these games on the eShop because they're gonna get bought up. Like I've been saying, this is the best time for this. You want games on your eShop. And Pushmo, Dylan's Rolling Western, and Box Boy, these types of franchises have completely different styles of gameplay. Dylan's Rolling Western is a tower defense game. We don't have anything like that from Nintendo. We don't have anything like that on the Switch. I mean, maybe from some indies and stuff like that, but why, Nintendo? Seems like such an obvious thing for you to delve into and just put your games on the and make some games, not put your games. They do that, Breath of the Wild's on the eShop. That's not what I mean. I'm talking specifically about making games for the eShop. Put some things out there. This is a huge market on the Switch that I think more people are prone to downloading at this point than they ever were before, that is just not being utilized, and I think it's a huge mistake. I think this is a big untapped market for Nintendo, and it's possible that the reason it's not being made is the developers are working on other things. We know that Harmonite, for example, is made by Game Freak, and they're obviously working on Pokemon right now, but hopefully within the next year, with the big games moving over a little bit, you know, Mario's already on the Switch, Zelda's on the Switch, Pokemon and Smash will be on the Switch at the end of this year. Hopefully these developers look into smaller games, you know, like maybe HAL can make some stuff, and I don't know, just examples. I just think that the eShop is a wonderful tool, and eShop exclusive titles are not only smart, but will give the Switch a different route, and I think it'll do well because, like I've been saying, people are downloading games. People want games downloaded on their Switch they can just go into real quick and get out of real quick. But hey guys, that's all for today. I know this is a little bit of a weird video, more of a rambly type video, but I just wanted to put something out there and be like, hey, eShop, do something about it, and hopefully, for whatever reason, me putting it out into the universe will actually do something. I don't think it will, but maybe. You never know. See you guys next time. Bye.